Hi, I wanted to start this video off by saying that we're going to be talking about some pretty heavy topics, and despite the amount of screenshots and evidence there is against this person, I still, for obvious reasons, unfortunately have to say that everything's alleged to save my butt. But because this video will be delving into deeper topics, if that's something that you cannot handle, this might not be the video for you, so see you some other time, maybe, if I ever make another video. Hi, my name's Frost, and today we're going to be talking about some things that involve the art community, and I know what you're thinking. Initially, when anything involves the art community, it can be really sketchy, scary, and you never know what you're going to get because it's definitely like a box of chocolates. Today, we're going to be talking about a very popular artist named Nyoka. I am not the first person on YouTube to make a video about this person. I will pop a little screenshot here of who I got the inspiration from to talk about this person because I don't think that there's enough people talking about this person. If you don't know who Nyoka is, well, that's probably great. You are very lucky. I was very lucky because I didn't know who this person was up until these allegations had come out. Otherwise, I probably never would have had them in my sights. I want to remind everybody before I delve even deeper that this artist is 17 years old. They are a child. Does this excuse the numerous of disgusting things that had taken place? No. Because let's be real, when I was 17 years old, I knew not to do any of the things that they've done. Does that excuse you to go and harass them? No. Just leave them alone. It's not going to change anything. At the beginning of this document, you can see that it says, "Hi, thank you for reading. This document was not a result of one person, but multiple people who have issues with Nyoka and their friends' actions." So, as we can already tell, multiple people have banded together to expose this artist for their actions. Even the people who wrote this document state to please not harass any of the people involved, so if my warning did not heed you, hopefully you can respect the wishes of the people involved in this situation. In this document, it states that a majority of these screenshots, but not all of them, come from the UGC, which is a private server around 25 members that Nyoka is still a member of as of 12/29/2024. UGC is going to be brought up a lot, and it just stands for United Group Chats, consisting of the Doula Group Chat, Freak Show Group Chat, and the Fat Ass Crew Group Chat, aka conglomeration of private friend group chats. So one of the first things that this document decides to talk about is Nokia sending NSFW in a server full of minors, and honestly, I don't even have to explain to you why that's not acceptable, let alone really gross. The UGC age range varies massively from people as old as 19 to people as young as 13, as the document states. Nokia is one of the older members, being 17, almost an adult. So, again, this person is still a minor, but they are old enough to know better. Essentially, this person was using a NSFW bot and requesting to see some insane fetish content in a server channel where minors were present and had access to. So, I'm going to be providing you some screenshots of what Nokia was doing. I cannot show you every single screenshot, but I have included the document down below, so if you want to go take a peek and make your own opinion about what's going on, I absolutely encourage you to do so. Now, in one of these screenshots here, it states that the Doula group chat was always intended to be for NSFW reasons, which means that they had been inviting 13-year-olds to a server that was always intended to be for adult content. Now, Nyoka should never have been in these servers, being a 17-year-old themselves, but exposing way younger people and talking to way younger people about sexually explicit content is not okay regardless. In this portion of the document, there's a lot of hyperlinks that I would really highly encourage you to go look through. I can't show you a lot of them, obviously, like I stated before, but I will move on to the next part of the document, which is racist jokes. This portion of the document, I will admit, is quite short, but there is a little bit to note here. So in this part of the document, they go on to show a very odd voice call channel called Racists Only, and Nokia was in this call. This is not something they just were unaware of, they were actually active and a part of this. Here's another screenshot. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry, but it's just people making racist jokes, saying to ban Yaji for being Hispanic. I don't know what the context of this is, but it was included in the document, so I felt the need to add it to the video too. So the next topic we're going to be talking about is the part of the document where it says harassing children. Now, if you are a victim of bullying and this is really hard for you to listen to, I really encourage you to click off the video or skip forward. I completely understand if it's too hard to listen to this because this part of the document is quite insane. So it states here in the document that Nyoka, who is 17 years old, nearly an adult, participated in the unjust harassment of a 14-year-old girl. To keep her anonymous, the writers of the document are referring to them as Flower. So, according to the document, Nyoka has mocked Flower's absent family members, created deepfake videos without their consent using Flower's face and intended to ridicule them, and had entire channels dedicated to making fun of Flower and their significant other. There is a hyperlink that you can follow to see the proof that there were AI videos made of Flower. Further into the document, there's a statement by Flower expressing how they're feeling, and just everything that they endured is really just expressed here in this statement, which I will read to you now. They stated, "They did not feel comfortable with the systems on the team, and from what I can recall, I was the only neurodivergent person on the team. I believe they found me weird because of the way I acted, and I don't think it's just because I'm straightforward. I find it kind of crazy, to be honest, because I was treated unfairly ever since the beginning, and I'm sure it's not because I'm young. Blank was involved with them. Though I could be wrong, it seems way too similar to the other cases I've experienced. That being said, I feel as if I was treated differently because I did not have the same mindset as the others." Then it provides a screenshot of some very questionable channels in which I had to censor one of them because I don't think YouTube would appreciate me just putting something so vulgar out there like that. Now, this next part of the video is not going to be easy by any accounts, so I'm going to let you know now. This next part of the video, we are going to be talking about some unsavory jokes that have been made in the chat about sexual assault and zoophilia. Yes, you heard me right. These conversations were had in the UGC apparently. Now, I don't even have to explain to you again why this is not okay, and again, why this is unacceptable. I feel like I've had to say this quite a few times, but these were conversations that allegedly had been brought up in the UGC. I think that if you at your big old age of 17, almost 18 years old, need to be sat down and explained why making jokes about SA and zoo jokes and whatnot, and why it's not funny, I think really honestly you just need to go to therapy and talk to somebody who could maybe actually get through to you. Back to the document, it says, "The group chat normalizes and repeatedly engages in rape jokes, some of which are from the adults, once again in a space full of minors as young as 13. 13 years old. And you're over here making jokes and normalizing something that impacts so many people, including somebody who could be your mother, your sister, your brother, your father. No matter the age. That's insane. And at the end of the day, when you tuck yourself into your little bed, you can go ahead and lay there and try to justify and make excuses for those disgusting jokes that you have made. But what you're doing is normalizing something so vile to a young, impressionable group of children. Those are children. And children so young already want to be edgy and to stand out and to gain attention. So of course they're going to continue to run with that, and of course they're going to continue to make these jokes that will normalize and make light of something that is so disgusting deep down. And the first link provided through a hyperlink in this document actually shows a participant in the server who is presumably 17 years old, and they are making a joke that involves Zoo and SA. And obviously, since this server is rumored to have everyone between the ages of 13 to 19, there were a lot of minors present while this conversation was happening. Now, I'm just going to show these next set of screenshots because I feel like they speak for themselves. Here is proof of a member known as Ren, who is supposedly 18 years old, making a unsavory joke about 𝚐𝚐, as we can see here, and there's two other screenshots where people talk about Ren being 18 years old, so this is an adult who is active in this space making these jokes with minors. In the same part of this document, it goes on to state that some of you might believe that Nyoka shouldn't be held entirely responsible for everything outlined in this document, as not all was directly their doing. However, it's important to consider that Nyoka chose to remain friends with these individuals, actively supported them, and allowed them to hold moderation roles within their server. This decision particularly significant when you remember that a substantial portion of the fan server is closely connected to the UGC. Now, there's just a random hyperlink that's just underneath that little paragraph just labeled shit talking, and there's a description right underneath that hyperlink that describes what this screenshot is about to show you. Now, there's this hyperlink that is actually underneath this paragraph, and it's labeled shit talking. There's a little description underneath that states, the pic above leads to a picture of the NK server staff / UGC members shit-talking regular NK server members. This used to be a video, but it won't load, so if y'all want it, someone can post it online. To be honest, no one in the Nyoka server is safe from the shit talk. And for me, the screenshot is low quality, and it might just be because of the way that Google Docs likes to lower the resolution of certain images. If you want to take a peek at it, you can. However, viewers, if you're even still watching, all good and horribly shitty things eventually meet its end, doesn't it? As of December 30th, 2024, UGC got deleted due to suspicions of someone leaking. Gee. In this very small section, we are provided two screenshots that tell us very little details, one of which is we see an account that was in the UGC at one point, and a minor. They have RIP UGC, you will be missed in their bio. And this next screenshot talks about how Xeno knows somebody leaked the UGC, so I'm assuming a moderator found out that somebody leaked something. I don't know if it was the link to the server or what, but something was leaked. The next section just goes on to state that old doc got leaked, not new one. Nyoka addressed the allegations. Here, we will review them. In this part of the document, somebody writes out that Nyoka made a statement saying, "I laugh at the art and joke about it." But they go on to be skeptical too and say, you look at it so much, Alien Stage and Brawl Star Rule 34, there are almost 400 messages just from you in that channel. Are we sure it's a joke? I'm not seeing many made here, in which they provide a screenshot in which I don't think I can put up because of YouTube, where they're looking up using the bot that kind of content, and they're not really making jokes. At the end of this document, they provide some notes. Nyoka didn't address rape jokes into further context, adults making them around children, Ren being 18. Did not cut ties with Oral, Nyoka's close friend, 19, after he sent generated NSFW to minors to see, remains the co-owner. Did not address harassment of Flower, although I believe it wasn't on the Twitter call-out, and did not cut ties with a zoo / rape joker who is 17, still an admin in the NK server, and then they presumably provide proof to all of this with hyperlinks. Now in this last section of the video, I refrained from including a screenshot mainly because I cannot get it high enough quality to put into the video, but I still want to read the contents within the message. I will read this for you and provide a spinning cat, so hopefully you can focus to this statement. This is the statement from Nyoka. Hello, Nyoka server. There's things that I have to talk about regarding a Twitter post that was made by an ex-mod, Isla. I'll be going through each topic. Me and my friends have had a server we hang out in, and admittedly, we made insensitive jokes. The most notable one is the 𝚐𝚐 jokes being made. Even though I and some of the others did not personally make these jokes, we shouldn't have let them slide or let them be made in the first place. When we saw the screenshots came out, we all talked to each other on how immoral it was and how we'd stop. Hardly any of us actually found it funny. We communicated to the people who did make those jokes and they decided they'd stop. Making jokes about rape completely waters down what victims have gone through, and that should be taken more seriously. Even though both are bad, there's a huge difference between joking about rape and wishing it upon a minor. We did have NSFW channels in our server despite the fact that only 2 people are adults, whereas the rest are all minors. Even though those channels were made in a joking manner, it was inappropriate to have a space that content where both adults and underage minors could have access to. Those channels are deleted now. Any race joke being made was friendly fire. Those who could rightfully say the N-word said the N-word. Those who could make Hispanic jokes are Hispanic themselves. Everyone in the server is a person of color, including myself. No actual racist remarks were made, and definitely wouldn't have been tolerated if there were. And that's the end of their statement, and honestly, they did miss a lot of things that they definitely should have talked about. Do I expect a 17-year-old to know what exactly to say and to take responsibility for all of this on the chin? No. Let's be real, for a 17-year-old, it's a lot easier to run away from this than to face it on your own. However, you are almost 18, and rightfully so, as you admit, it was wrong for anybody to be making those jokes even if you weren't a part of it. And as for friendly fire, I guess you could make that justification for some of the interactions with your server, but how does that justify the racist-only voice call? I'm not sure if it's just me, but at 17 years old, I definitely was not hanging out with 13-year-olds, not even in online spaces. I just did not wish to be around them. I fear there's a giant maturity gap between the two, and I'm not saying a 17-year-old is fully mature, obviously. Nobody's brain is fully developed until you're 25, but there is a big gap in maturity there. At 17 years old, you can drive a car and have a job. At 13 years old, you're stuck at your middle school lunch with all your tests and mom and dad all day. And you could make an argument and say that Nyoka is, again, 17 years old and not fully developed as a person, and we can hope that they choose to change and not pursue the same actions and friend groups that they have displayed currently here in these documents. And honestly, that's something that I personally would be happy with, because I'm always wishing the best for people, wishing for change, and wishing for people to just learn to care and love and not do these kinds of silly, gross things. I don't have a lot of closing statements, but I do have a few things that I would like to say before ending this video. I again would like to stress to please not harass anybody mentioned in this video. I had seen a lot of people on TikTok talking about this, but nowhere else, so I decided I'd make a video and talk about it. I see a lot of people in comment sections being like, oh no, what happened? And a lot of misinformation being spread and a lot of things being said in the comment sections that don't relate to the doc or what other people who know Nyoka have said, so I thought I would go through the doc and just talk about it. I am in no way a content creator. I've never made a commentary video like this, but there weren't a lot of deep dives into the doc on YouTube, and I wanted to watch one, and there was really only one. If you were a part of this server, or if you know anything about the server and you'd like to share your experiences, I encourage you to go ahead and do so. Just please don't try to lie too much in my comment section if you weren't a part of the UGC. And with that, I hope everybody has a great day, a good night, and happy birthday if it's your birthday. Oh yeah, and happy new year. It's 2025. Let's just hope it's not too much of a garbage fire.